back door.
Whoa.
I just remember just yelling and just screaming at us to just shut up and just give us money. And Gavin got out of the bed and physically pushed. We had two of them in the room, and he got up and physically pushed them out and shut the bedroom door on them. He's then grabbed a baseball bat from underneath the bed, at which point a hammer's come through the bedroom door multiple times of them trying to get in with us, with literally our entire body weight on the door, trying to prevent them from getting to us.
That's terrifying.
Home security cameras captured Gavin chasing the young men out the front, but he couldn't stop them stealing both their cars.
It's too traumatizing for me to go back there and remember it. I don't know how they can say that the crime rate is falling, because everyone I know nobody feels safe.
Why would you need an AR-15?
Why is she outside?
The teenagers, described as being of African appearance, are still on the run.
Every time I see a black person down the street or just anywhere, it's like a trigger.
African
Before
appearance.
this happened, I wasn't scared of black people or people of color or whatever, but now it's like I can't even face someone in a store that's black because of what's happened to me. And I think that's really unfair. It shouldn't be like that.
Yikes.
I mean, apparently over there they can speak their mind.
Of course, shit. They could
never say that.
Oh my God! If a glider said that over here,
they wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have been able to get that whole sentence out.
But they're woker than us. I still think they're woker than us. But yeah, this is shocking. This is shocking. But here's the thing: she has white woman privilege. But even then, yeah, you still.
I can't believe I heard that.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to say that over here. No way.
No way.
I can't say that.
Yeah,
you can't.
No one could. No one could. I couldn't say that.
You couldn't even say that. Right. You couldn't even say that. A glider couldn't say that in the middle of being robbed.
No.
No. All camera.
Like while being robbed, they couldn't.
A glider couldn't say that while being shot.
Yeah. This is AP. What's up, AP? How your mic doing, man?
How's it sound? How am I sounding?
Great. What do you think? What do you think about what the glider woman just said?
She's on point, but the thing about it is, even though she's gone through all of this, I doubt if we said, you know what, let's round them all up and get them the hell out of there. Will she go for it?
AP, I love you.
And the reason I say that is, it makes me angry because I live in the middle of hell. I'm not going to say where, but I see what's happening, and I'm like wondering how far does it take for people to wake up in anger? Because keep in mind, they're building up all these apartments and things all over the place. They're not building them for us. They're building them for our replacements. And even now, the so-called conservative media, they're now starting to talk about the great replacement theory and talk about the violence. And we're like saying, dude, you guys are 10 to 15 years too late. We told you this years ago, and we branded as racist. You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. But now the wolves are here. And from a health perspective, these same people, the same woman, this is why I don't feel sorry for people like her. I'm sorry that happened to her. But this same woman, if I showed up at her house during COVID with no mask on and refused the vaccine, she would have me arrested. Because that's what they were doing in Australia. But you're bringing in all these shit people from the third world, Sudan, Africa, Middle East, and especially Latin America, and they're bringing in diseases. And this is the part that the media is not talking about. These people are bringing their children here, and they're going to be going to school with your children. Yeah. So all the and this is, that's what I'm saying, this is not just a one-sided issue. This thing they've been planning for years, because at the same time when they bring in the chingue disease, the TB, the measles, the chicken
Tsetse
pox,
virus,
the
the TT.
scabies, all kinds of other jungle viruses that they have, then the pharmaceuticals are going to step in and say, hey, we need to come up with a vaccine for this and a vaccine for that. And the first thing they're going to push them on is your children. So, and the same thing too is they're already saying in Chicago, they're running out of places to put these people. So now they're going to be on the street, or they're going to bring them into hotels, into your nice communities, and see, there even some people are starting to realize what's going on. But hey, it's too late. This is what you voted for. So I'm like, when I see cases like with the young man you did that was shot and killed, I feel sorry for the father that it happened to your son. But you are the same people that when we asked to join with the cause and prevent these people from getting in office, and we told you what would happen, you didn't listen. So these are the consequences. The ship is sinking, but it's unfortunate that we're on the Titanic and we don't have any lifeboats. See, the ones who put all these policies in place, they got their own lifeboats. We don't.
Yeah, let me.
So it's going to come to the time where people are going to have to stand up and be ready to fight, make a last stand, or it's all over. And for me, I feel like the country is gone. It's all over.
Let me just hear what this lady said again. I gotta hear this one more time.
The teenagers, described as being of African appearance, are still on the run.
Every time I see a black person down the street or just anywhere, it's like a trigger. Before all of this happened, I wasn't scared of black people or people of color or whatever, but now it's like I can't even face someone in a store that's black because of what's happened to me. And I think that's really unfair. It shouldn't be like that.
Some women would be so mad if they heard this.
It's not.
But the problem is she didn't see what was happening in South Africa these past 10 years. How can you sit up there with a straight face and say that? You haven't seen what's happening in America? So that's what I'm saying, the cognitive dissonance that these people have. Are they on purposely blinding themselves, throwing bleach in our eyes? What part does she not see that bringing these people, look where they come from. Like I said, they're not coming here to improve. Some people, like I would say, you can't bring them into a civilized society. And we talk about that all the time. You have to leave them where they are. So they're coming from a dirt poor, savage nation where they don't even know how to have toilet paper. They don't even have running toilets. So you bring them here to a first world country, and you think because you give them all kinds of free stuff, their habits are supposed to change? They're killing each other over there. We're just easy targets for them. That's all. We don't have that viciousness that they have over in Africa. This is in Latin America. This is totally new to the game.
Yeah.
Wrong to me, but I can't help but associate that night with them, and that's what's really unfair.
We just need to call it for what it is if it's African gang violence.
African gangs running riots, terrorising, robbing, wreaking havoc.
People are scared to go to restaurants at the night time because they're followed home by these gangs.
Scared to go out to restaurants at night. Jesus.
You guys know what you want? What's yeah.
Woo!
They tall street signs. Damn.
Yeah.
You feel like you have to be on your best behavior 24/7 because you feel like you're representing your skin color for everyone that's just like you. So you have to be just extra nice.
So look, now they're playing that bullshit game. We feel like we always gotta walk around on tippy toe when they're fucking living like apes. They're like hanging from fucking swinging from vines, and the unmitigated gall to say some shit like this, man.
I mean, that's just crazy. They have got a bushes robbing gliders outside of restaurants. Talking about something, we got to be on our best behavior. It's so many.
So
what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
So where are we talking about? Like all Sun teams are like all Sun people are like this, right?
You have the capacity. I'm not.
No, I mean if they're all like that, then yes. But if there's one or two who are not, then those one or two would have to walk around on tippy
I
toes.
doubt that. They said they can't even chase police. The reason why they preying on these gliders is the same reason it's happening over here. They allow this shit. If you don't lock motherfuckers up and throw away the key and then put your boot on a motherfucker's neck, they're going to run ape shit.
But
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
But they've
fact.
twisted their criminal justice system the same way they've done here. Because I don't know if you guys were watching in Australia, they had some of the strictest quarantine laws during COVID. There was a pregnant woman, belly sticking out, and policemen were putting his knee in her back, white woman, because she refused to take the vaccine and she refused to mask. They were locking down churches. So you mean to tell me they can't get these people out of here? They have no reason even to be in Australia. Why are they there? What are they contributing? What have they contributed in their own country? And this is why I say this is a cultural suicide that is happening all around the world. And I'm like, what is it going to take? And it's not just the Sun people. I'm going to tell you something. These people from Southeast Asia, like your Indians, your Patels, they're a little bit better because they're not as violent. But when you talk to them, they still have that woke mentality. They believe in equity and all this diversity stuff. And I remember talking to this woman. I asked her, I said, well, she's like, everybody should have the same opportunities. And I'm like, we're not all equal. We're not all on the same level. She goes, well, I come from, people were very poor and they didn't have it. I said, well, that's not an American problem. I said, you guys, how come you can march here and beg for free stuff and equality and all that stuff? Well, why are you guys not going back home demanding that stuff? You brave here. That's what I'm saying, the Sudanese people. Why are they in Australia? Do you know the quality of life for the average Australians have decreased because of importing these people here in the country? The same as what's happened in America. And you have to ask yourself, this is not by accident. This has been done on purpose. And they're continually to do it. And they won't stop until there's a pushback. But I don't think there's going to be a pushback because people are afraid. And some people, like I say, are throwing bleach in their eyes. They'd rather blind themselves than to see exactly what's happening.
Nice person, like extra smile. Even if you're not feeling it that day, you just have to have a smile on, because if you don't, you look scary. You get stared at. It's like, imagine someone's looking through you, or like looking, like, like someone's eyes are just burning inside of your head. That's what it feels like, essentially.
That's good. I've got mixed garlic and sweet chili. I've got mixed garlic and sweet chili again.
She ain't getting no tip.
Thank you.
Somebody gonna try to smash though.
20-year-old Titan was separated at birth from his parents during Sudan's brutal civil war. He hasn't seen them since.
When I was born, the war and everything was happening, so me and my mom got separated. My grandma, being the hero she is, and the strong lady she is, took me with her. How many classes you have? How many hours your class?
Melbourne has been his home since he was 5.
I've been in Fitzroy ever since, and it is created as hell. So I'm trying to move there. But I don't know how much it costs, bro. Every day, I have to try to convince you, I'm Australian. I think, you know what? We know we're Australian. We grew up here. Who do we have to? Why should I have to convince you I'm Australian?
Wherever they go, Titan and his friends feel judged.
You got to realize it's like 1% of us, right? There's crime in every single race.
Oh, shit.
There's people that commit crime in every single race. But with us, for some reason, it gets put onto the whole culture. Our whole, culture gets blamed for the actions of the few now.
Oh, yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah, it's a wrap. When they start talking that shit,
it's over with, man.
The victimhood shit.
That means somebody had to let them think that they could talk like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's programmed.
Violent confrontation at tonight's Moomba Festival. Police arrived to reclaim the streets, but it was too late and they were outnumbered.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
The focus on African gang crime began in March 2016, when violence broke out at the Moomba Festival at Federation Square in the centre of Melbourne.
We had two groups of African young people coming together in Melbourne. There was a fight broke out and it became a rolling maul, if you like. Some of that was because the police became involved and we started chasing these young people. People were seeing chairs being flown, they were seeing people being chased down the street by police, and that created a whole narrative in the media at the time and a lot of political pressure.
I mean, you saw the videos. There was stupid kids that got riled up, right? That did dumb stuff and they should be, like, it's not right what they did. I don't agree with it at all. It was stupid.
Police charged 37 people over the Moomba violence. Several were linked to a group known as the Apex Gang.
So just a bunch of young kids from a small area of Dandenong is where it started. Largely people from a South Sudanese background, although we did have some Maoris and people from other Pacific Islanders in that group.
Apex was notorious for home invasions and carjackings in the city's southeast. Police say at its peak, the group numbered around 130 young men. But after an intense crackdown on Apex, police say it's now been dismantled.
We just don't see them. We're just not seeing that tag or that group in our crimes anymore.
Victoria Police are facing further criticism with claims they've lost control to street gangs.
We have mayhem, we have anarchy.
There is a specific problem in Victoria to do with people of African background.
We need true law and order, we need safety.
I don't see it as a violent African gang crisis, no. Certainly, we have an issue. We have an issue with our youth in this state, but I believe that we are contained.